Welcome to What is Truth, brought to you by the Southern New Mexico Church of God in Las Cruces, New Mexico. What is Truth is a weekly program which seeks to focus our attention on the truth of God's Word. Now, with this week's lesson, here's Pastor Meyer Stahl.
Welcome to the program. My name is Meyer Stahl. I'm the pastor of the Southern New Mexico Church of God, and I'm here with my friend and colleague, Dave
Gallus.
Our subject today is, was Jesus a socialist? That's our subject today, and our object is to prove that he wasn't a socialist. So we're going to see what kind of economy Jesus Christ looked for, what he was working at. So Dave, I know we
have a couple
have
publications.
a couple publications that we want to offer to you today. The first is Lazarus and the Rich Man. And it says here at the top, do people burn forever in a hell fire? Now that's being taught in many churches today, that people burn forever and they're never, for all eternity, they just keep burning and burning and burning up. And do you want to know the truth about that? All you have to do is call us and request the booklet. And the same thing about the second booklet is, where are Enoch and Elijah? Are they both up in heaven? The booklet says at the bottom, Enoch was translated that he should not see death. What does translated mean? Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. Yet the Bible reveals they're not in heaven today. Where are they? Here's the astonishing truth. All you need to do for these booklets is call us at area code 575-650-7359. And Dave, you have a publication also you're offering.
Yes, I have a booklet myself and a few others put out. It's called Issachar. It's using Bible verse to solve the problems that we face right now in our time. And we cover such subjects as religious freedom, college campus unrest, abortion, climate change, inflation and the national debt, capitalism versus socialism, which will be our subject today. And all you have to do is give me a call at 856-952-7343, and I'll be glad to send it out. And just like Meyer, all this is offered free. You don't pay postage or anything. I'll get it right out to you.
That's terrific. Well, Dave, let's get started.
I have lots of questions.
Okay, throw them at me.
All right. I hear with the political upheaval that goes on now today, it's okay. We have socialist and we have capitalist, and what is the difference? And what is better? Okay,
there's a big difference, Dave. In the first place, socialism is the country owns everything.
The government.
The government owns it all.
Okay.
And you and I have to work for the government. Okay? Now, if you work hard, you're going to be paid the same thing as if you hardly work.
So maybe a doctor would get the same pay as a laborer?
A doctor might get a little bit more than a laborer, not much more, but
so there's no incentive to work hard or improve.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we see countries like Venezuela, they were the richest country in Central America with all the oil that they were pumping, and today they're dirt poor.
Right.
And capitalism is what we have here today.
And we are the richest country in the world.
And we are the richest country in the world because we produce.
Because of capitalism.
Because of the more you produce, the more you make, the more money you're going to take home at the end of the week. So It's a system that works. It's always worked.
Now, I did some studying on it, and there's a brilliant black professor named Thomas Sowell, S-O-W-E-L-L, and he makes it really plain. He said, if you have a capitalist society, the incentive to work and produce a better product at a cheaper price regulates itself. No government interference. That's what regulates itself. If you have a product you're putting out that is very, very valuable, but there's only one person putting it out, well, you can charge any price you want, but some enterprising person is going to see that value, they're going to get into the business, and that's where the competition gets created. The competition will make the better product at the cheapest price. That's capitalism.
That's capitalism.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
And socialism is very close to communism, is it not?
It is. It's one step away from communism. And you see who's crossing whose borders.
Yeah, why are they coming here?
Why are they coming here?
We're not socialists.
Yeah, we're not socialists.
Right.
And nothing is free, Dave. Nothing is free.
Some politicians say that.
Somebody's going to pay for whatever it is. You talk about free medical, that's not free.
But we're $22 trillion in debt. Our kids and our grandkids, even our great-grandkids aren't going to be able to pay that off.
No.
So somebody's going to pay.
Well, it's going to reduce our standard of living is exactly what's going to happen.
Well, and I look at the socialist countries in the world. Venezuela's going down the tubes, but what's the other country? No, it's Venezuela. But there's Argentina, other countries, I'm not sure about Argentina, but other countries in the world, Cuba, socialist, communist countries, they're not doing well. They're not doing well at all. People are eating their own pets.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So what does the Bible say about socialism and communism?
Let's look in the Bible. Jesus talked about capitalism in Matthew chapter 25. Why don't you read verses 14 to 30?
14 to 30. It's called the parable of the talents. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country who called his own servants and delivered his goods to them. And to one he gave 5 talents. Now talents, that's a value. It's money.
It's a weight. A weight of gold or silver.
Okay. And to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to each according of his own ability. And immediately he went on a journey. Then he who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5 talents. Capitalism.
He doubled his money.
Capitalism.
Yeah.
And likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more.
He also doubled his money.
Okay. He who had received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid his money, his Lord's money. Whoa. After a long time, the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. So he who received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I have gained 5 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. So he was blessed and given more opportunity to increase his Lord's wealth.
That's right.
Okay. Enter into the joy of your Lord, so he says. He also, who received 2 talents, came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Look, I have gained 2 more talents besides them, doubled his money. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many more. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid, and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. But the Lord answered and said to him, You wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. So
Now-
he rewarded the good servant
Right.
who produced more from what he had.
Exactly. So Jesus here is a capitalist. Now that's not a dirty word,
Well-
but it is out there in the world today.
Well, some people say that, but I think a capitalist invests. And what does he invest in? He invests to make more money, but while he's doing that, he's also employing people.
Right.
He's increasing his business to employ that much more people. And in our case, he's going to be paying taxes, more taxes to the government because of his expanded business.
Exactly.
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
So,
And like you say, you see where the hordes of people are coming. They're coming to the United States, and they want to get into the United States any way they can.
they want what we have.
They want what we have.
And it's a prosperous country.
And it'll stay prosperous until we adopt socialism.
Oh,
If we
my.
adopt socialism, like Margaret Thatcher, the former Prime Minister of England,
Right.
she said, socialism is great, it's good until you run out of OPM. OPM is other people's money. You see,
Yes,
once you
yes.
run out of other people's money, whose money do you use next?
I heard a couple of black commentators, they were talking, and they said, when socialism doesn't make everybody equally rich, it makes them equally poor.
Right.
Because like you said, you run out of other people's money eventually. And you run up a debt. So, no, it's not. I learned how to balance a checkbook when I was 18 and starting a family. And I have never gone into debt that I didn't pay off. Our country's in $22 trillion of debt. And they're talking about spending more money.
Yeah.
That's socialism.
Yeah, and our state of New Mexico, is taking in a lot of money on the oil fields, and they're talking about spending it all.
Oh, they've already spent it. Even in Las Cruces here, they had to take $500,000 out of a fund that we had to pay for the transportation of the so-called asylum seekers to different parts of the country and to house them here in Las Cruces. And it's like, well, why do we allow this?
Why are we doing this?
We're doing it because, from what my point of view is, the Democrats want more voters. And that's a big problem that we have now. So it's spending money that we don't have, or spending money that we should be using wisely, like the good servants.
Dave, you have children. Okay, you paid for their education,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, how would you like to pay for everybody else's education? Doesn't
No,
make sense,
no,
does it?
No.
You pay for your own health plan,
Yes.
and would you like to pay for everybody else's health plan?
And I don't expect anybody to pay for mine. That's my responsibility. Yeah. It seems like in a socialist society, there's a certain political faction that wants to make people poor enough so they have to have their hand out to the government. And when they do that, the government controls them.
Exactly.
And it controls their votes. So they have to vote so they continue to get the handout. What these people don't realize is that if you give the man a job, he can make his own money. He can raise his own family, and he can stand up with pride in his family.
And he could pay taxes.
Sure. It all works out good.
Yeah.
But government that believes in socialism, what they want to do is take everybody's money, expand their government control, expand their government services, keep the money for themselves for their own pay, then they give it to the people they want. And these are the poor people that they control. But people are getting wise, I hope, I pray.
Well, we'll see by the next election what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 6. Some people think that money is a root of all evil.
Wow.
Would you read 1 Timothy 6, verses 6 to 10?
6 to 10. Now, godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and clothing, with these we shall be content. But those who dare to be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and harmful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Love of the money is the root of all kinds of evil, of which some have strayed from the faith in their greediness and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
See, it's the love of money which is a root of all evil.
And the temptation.
Money is a tool. If we use money correctly, it will bring more money in.
Sure.
You see?
Sure.
And money creates money. So there's good uses of money. Well, we're heading into the break. Folks will be taking a short break. We'll be right back. Please don't go away. There's so much more.
So great, you do all these different gears in the clan.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey guys, not all.
Horizon Granite is here. We'll come to you to customize your kitchen and bathroom with beautiful countertops and cabinets. Find out more at horizongranite.com. Call us at 575-650-3180.
Horizon Granite is here.
It's here.
Make yourself a beautiful home.
Hi, welcome to Okazuri.
It's our happy hour sushi fest. We placed our top sushi rolls on special from $4 to $6. And our ice cold draft beer is only $2.50. Have a California roll, banderito roll. Sit at the floating sushi bar and the kids eat for only $2. From 2 to 5, Monday through Thursday, located on University in the Pan Am Plaza. It's our happy hour sushi fest.
Welcome back to the program. In case you tuned in late, our topic today was Jesus Christ a socialist? Did Jesus Christ believe in socialism? And the first part we proved, no, Jesus Christ is not a socialist. He's a capitalist. He believes in capitalism. And we showed that with the parable of the talents. The people who he praised were those who were able to go out and create more money from what they were given. And the ones who buried his talent in a hole in the ground came up with a lot of excuses, and he pointed to his master who gave him the talent as being greedy. And of course, that wasn't the case.
And a talent was a monetary value.
Yeah, it was a
But
unit of silver or gold, a weighing unit. You would weigh it.
But you said before that it could also be used as a person's God-given talents of certain abilities.
Yeah,
and if they don't increase that and don't develop that, then it's the same problem.
They lose out.
It's capitalism in effort and value.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, there's a couple articles that I have from an AMAC magazine.
Would you please read them?
Yeah, it said, since 1990 alone, according to the World Bank, capitalism has halved, cut in half, the number of people globally living on less than $2 a day. Cut it in half. So that's capitalism for you. And then there's another article that says the World Health Organization published data on comparative quantification of health risks and found one fact incontrovertible. Higher economic freedom means better health. And it's kind of proven by this picture that if you look at a picture of nighttime picture of Korea, South Korea has lights all over the place. It's all lit up. It looks like a 4th of July. North Korea is just about completely blacked out. So it's like, that tells you right there, these people are poor. They're probably eating their pets, if not their family, in North Korea. In South Korea, it's prominent. Capitalism in the South, Communism, Socialism in the North. It proves it.
It proves it, yeah. Why would people think for 1 minute that this is free, that is free, and the politicians are promising free education, free college, free Medicare for everybody? It's impossible.
People are not critically thinking.
People are not thinking. That free comes out of your pocket. That's where it comes from.
It comes from somebody's pocket.
It comes from our pockets.
And it seems to be the very rich that they say they want to soak, they're above the level where they have loopholes that they can hide their taxes. But, so they're not going to pay a whole lot in taxes, and the poor certainly aren't going to pay any taxes. It's always the middle class that pays the taxes.
Yeah, they're the ones that are really hurt.
That's most of us.
Yeah.
So
let's go to Revelation chapter 6. Dave, would you read verses 5 and 6?
Okay, the third seal, scarcity on earth. When he opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, a black horse, and he who sat on it had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures say, "A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and the wine."
Yeah, let me explain that, Dave. This is talking about a measure. It's not exactly a quart. It's a measure. So how does it work? Well, you have a sack of wheat, and you take both hands in that sack, and you cup them, and as much wheat as you could get out of that sack, that would be
a measure?
1 measure.
Okay.
So that would cost you a denarius. That would cost you a day's labor. Now,
Okay.
can you imagine the most you're going to get if you have big hands is a pound or 2.
So it's good to have
So,
big hands.
Yeah. But nevertheless, you've got very little food for a whole lot of money.
Now,
that's inflation.
A denarius is a gold coin?
A denarius is a silver coin.
Silver.
But it was given to a laborer for an entire day's labor out there in the field.
1 day's labor. Okay.
1 labor in the field.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So this is talking, but I heard scales in the biblical prophecy as well. This is
Yeah. But they're weighing the talent. They're weighing
Okay.
the money.
Okay.
And they're weighing the grain that you're
Okay.
getting with it. And you see where it says don't hurt the oil or the wine?
Yes.
That's going to be out of you were not going to be able to afford the oil. You better not spill any oil or wine. It's going to be so precious.
Okay.
It's going to be precious.
Oil, sure, because that lights things. The oil.
Okay, let's go further in the book of Revelation to Revelation chapter 13. Would you read verses 11 to 18?
Okay. The beast from the earth. Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and spoke like a dragon. And he exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs, so that he even makes the fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, and that image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except on who has the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of man. His number is 666.
Yeah, now that hasn't happened yet. That hasn't happened yet. That's going to be very soon. It's going to come about.
But it sounds
now,
familiar.
This beast is a government. It's a form of government.
Right.
And this form of government is going to take all money out. There's not going to be any money.
Going to be electronic money.
It's going to be cashless society.
I just heard about that.
Yeah.
It's electronic money. It's Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's going to be something like a Bitcoin, but it's going to start out being very valuable. People will flock to it. They'll take it.
They are.
Yeah, and they are right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they want to get in on the leading edge of it.
Exactly.
What they don't realize is that it's not tangible money. It's not gold or silver, which is what we started with, which is what is in the Constitution. Coin
it's not
money.
even paper.
No, and paper money that the Federal Reserve prints, that's all fiat money. It's monopoly money. If the Fed needs money, it prints the money. It inflates it, and that's why things are so expensive. But with this electronic money, if you're not part of their system, they can turn a switch, and your money is gone.
That's right.
That's the mark of the beast.
You can't buy or sell, which means you can't work, which means you can't drive your car, which means you can't pull up to a pump and get gas.
You're dead.
You can't go in a grocery store and buy food.
Oh, man.
This is terrible.
It was written 2,000 years ago, and this is exactly what's happening.
And this is a warning to us today. We better pay attention. This is going to come about. This is predicted, and it's going to happen. Okay, folks, we're coming to the end of the program. We have two important booklets, Lazarus and the Rich Man, and also Enoch. Where are Enoch and Elijah? And Dave, you have your
Yes, I have Issachar. It solves problems that we have in our modern day right now, just like we read in Revelations, that the sign of the beast, if you don't have it, you're going to be in big trouble. You're not going to be able to buy anything. So this deals with that subject and many more. Just call me at 856-952-7343, and I'll get a copy out to you, no charge.
Well, Dave, thank you for joining me in the program today. Well, folks, that's it for today. Check with us next week. We got more to come. And until next time, this is Meyer Stahl and Dave Gallus saying goodbye, friends.
Bye.
You have been listening to What is Truth with Pastor Meyer Stahl of the Southern New Mexico Church of God, located in Las Cruces, New Mexico. For copies of today's lesson or for more information, call area code 575-650-7359. That's 575-650-7359. Join us next week at this same time for another edition of What is Truth? Until next week, we wish you God's richest blessings.